Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with our next chapter of Hannibal. We're on part 3, the Battle of Ticinus. I don't know. It's something. It's a battle. We're going somewhere new, like always. So yeah, Hannibal's made it through the Alps, and I'm assuming this is his first battle after getting through the Alps. I think he's got to go against the Romans, right? Or is it like another like big tribe they're after? But I don't think they would name this episode after a battle with like a tribe. So pretty sure it's going to be against like a Roman force. So this will be really cool to kind of see that in action and see if you have any more like flanking kind of tactics going on here, because he's actually used that quite a lot so far. Well, I guess he's only had like a few battles, but flanking's been in like most of them. But yeah, anyway, he got the elephants across the Alps. He lost a big portion of his army, so we're gonna see if that makes a difference in this coming up battle, or does he maybe get resupplied by more men, maybe by sea, because we know how great seamen they are. So yeah, anything else? Really, 218 BC. That's what's in the title. I don't know. Let's get into this, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe. That'd be really great of you. And yeah, let's jump into this video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I got myself a drink. Does it make any sense that I'm drinking like a diet Pepsi, but yet I'm here with like a big box of like party size like chocolate chip cookies? Kind of defeats the purpose of having diet, right? When you have like a whole bunch of sugar. What was that? Whole bunch of sugar. When it comes to cookies. But anyways, let's get to the video. 3, 2, 1, bam.
In late 218 BC, Hannibal marched his forces over the Alps. But before he can confront the Romans, he first tackles his 3 immediate priorities. He resupplies and rests his exhausted men, begins rebuilding his army by recruiting new contingents of Gallic troops from the Po Valley, as his current army is only barely equal in size to a single Roman consular army. And as soon as his troops are rested, he quickly moves to secure the loyalty of Gallic tribes.
Wow, so he didn't. I was like, yeah, how's he gonna like replenish his army? He just gets it by the land nearby. Like, I didn't expect that at all. And so, wow, definitely impressed. He's resting his army up, getting supplies. Interesting, building up.
As his troops are rested, he quickly moves to secure the loyalty of Gallic tribes.
Part 3.
Aware that loyalty, or at least compliance, cannot be guaranteed by flattery and gifts alone, Hannibal asserts his authority by making an example of the Torini tribe, who resisted the Carthaginian advance. After a 3-day siege, he orders his troops to storm the main town of the Torini. All of the inhabitants, men, women and children, are massacred.
Wow.
This calculated display of ruthlessness serves to show the Gallic tribes what is the price of hostility to the Carthaginian cause.
Dang.
Meanwhile, on the...
I mean, I understand that sucks, women and children. But I guess, because he's got to make it a point just in case, so that, these tribes are just new to his army. Hey, if you like turn against us, we're going to kill your children and your women, so I guess that's kind of the point, he has to put across there, because he's kind of a long way from home and he kind of needs loyalty and all that stuff. So I guess it makes sense, but damn.
Hostility to the Carthaginian cause. Meanwhile, on the waves off the coast of Sicily, the Carthaginians strike the first blow. In preparation for a full-scale invasion to take back the important port cities that they once held, their ships begin raiding strategic islands around Sicily. In the west, the operation is successful. But further east, while raiding the Vulcan Islands, a few Carthaginian ships are blown off course in a terrible storm. Not far from the Straits of Messina, they are eventually spotted and attacked by the Syracusan navy.
Damn.
The Roman ally captures 3 Carthaginian ships and their crews. Under torture, the seamen reveal details about the Carthaginian plan to attack Sicily. The Syracusan king informs his allies of this, and the Roman praetor in Sicily reacts promptly.
Wow.
The Romans learn that the Carthaginians have a larger fleet in the area, but that their ships are not.
That sucks. I mean, if you know anything back then and you get caught, like you're gonna spill your guts and tell them everything, because I know, well, I don't know, but you know, back then they probably had them in a room slicing them up, like torture, like, you know, not gonna be able to recover kind of torture maybe. So like anyone's gonna spill the guts of like what the plan is. I mean, I guess the troops wouldn't know really the inside of the plan, but like I guess the officers probably know a lot more. But anyways, and plus, man, the bad weather, man, the seas around here must be like ruthless. Like, geez, man, bad luck. Well, this time the bad luck in the sea is on Carthage side of it. Usually they're the ones getting help, and having the weather help them out against the Romans, but not this time.
The Romans learn that the Carthaginians have a larger fleet in the area, but that their ships are not packed with many soldiers. The Roman praetor decides to exploit this by packing each of his ships with twice as many legionnaires, effectively enabling each Roman ship crew to fight off 2 Carthaginian ships. With lookout posts set up along the shore, the Roman ambush is set. The Carthaginians close in unopposed, but as they approach their intended target, the Romans go on the offensive. They direct their ships towards one part of the Carthaginian fleet, rushing to board the enemy. In this 1v1 situation, the more numerous Roman crews overwhelm the Carthaginian ships and quickly pick them off one by one. Eventually, the Carthaginian naval attack is defeated, and their attempt to gain a foothold on the island of Sicily in 218 BC fails.
Damn.
By this time, Consul Tiberius.
The beginning of this series in war kind of reminds me of the Napoleon series, where if Napoleon, when Napoleon was there, like he was gonna win, like he was win the victory, but like if it was put back to like the his marshals and whatnot, they had trouble like against the enemy, and it seems the same way here. Like Hannibal's kicking butt, but his counterparts, the ones underneath him, they're having trouble and they can't seem to get a break or get a victory or nothing. They're getting like, I don't know, they're just getting outplayed, and so I think Hannibal's probably seems like he's doing really good, but I mean he can't do it all on his own, and that's what it kind of seems like. There's like that thing on the, like Napoleon had, so kind of see a similar thing going on. You know what I mean? We'll see if that changes though.
BC fails. By this time, Consul Tiberius Sempronius Longus arrives and launches a counter-offensive along the south coast of Sicily and manages to capture Malta. He then turns back to intercept Carthaginian ships that are raiding the Vulcan Islands, Vibo and Brutium. But Longus's mission is cut short by news that Hannibal arrived in the Po Valley, and he gets summoned to bring his legions back north to help Scipio.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Scipio is eager to meet Hannibal in battle.
Oh, really?
With his 17-year-old son at his side, also named Publius, who will later become known as Scipio Africanus, Scipio crosses the river Po at Placentia and promptly continues west along the northern bank of the Po. Under his command are mostly less experienced troops, but Scipio is confident of defeating Hannibal. After all, In Scipio's view, he challenged Hannibal on the Rhone, and the Carthaginian general ran away.
Oh.
Hannibal, on the other hand, is quite surprised to learn that Scipio made it back to the Po Valley so quickly. He thinks that Scipio...
So already it's like, Scipio, you're going to take him lately, and you got less, that's been huge. I've learned that from a bunch of these videos that, man, experienced troops, man, is like, one experienced troop is like two new troops, they're like, as big. And, he's got a bunch of experienced troops here because of the battles he's been through right now. But, Hannibal is not, he's faced him before, and he's not gonna be overconfident because, it didn't really work out before. So anyways.
Surprised to learn that Scipio made it back to the Po Valley so quickly. He thinks that Scipio returned with his entire army, but he has no way of knowing that in fact Scipio's troops continued on to Iberia. Thinking that the Romans now have two whole armies in the Po Valley, the Carthaginian general fears that this force is now strong enough to deter Gallic tribes from joining him, and he wants a victory. Fast. Hannibal knows that the Gallic tribes will not rally to his banner if he doesn't seem confident of defeating Rome. Not wasting any time, he marches his army downstream along the northern bank of the Po River to meet Scipio. Still unaware of each other's exact whereabouts, the two generals send scouting parties well ahead of their respective armies as they march towards each other. Each army's scouts soon report the enemy's presence, and both Hannibal and Scipio proceed with caution. The Romans build a pontoon bridge over the Ticinus River and set up camp on the western bank. Meanwhile, some 15 kilometers west, the Carthaginian column also stops and encamps for the night on the flat plain. A day later, both Hannibal and Scipio ride out in force to scout the area in person, each of them eager to gain a crucial early victory, which would inspire the rest of their troops and win the support of the Gallic tribes. Hannibal rides with the bulk of his horsemen, while Scipio has all of his cavalry and a small force of velites with him. As the two contingents move through the flat plain, they soon spot each other because of the clouds of dust thrown up by the hooves of their horses. Both generals decide to deploy their troops for battle.
Oh, here we go.
Hannibal arrays his close-order Spanish cavalry in the front and forms the Numidian light cavalry in two groups behind the first line. Scipio places his velites in the front, aiming to soften up Hannibal's cavalry with javelin throws. Gallic allies form the second line, while the Roman cavalry is in reserve. As both contingents begin closing the distance, Hannibal sees that the Roman cavalry is fewer in number and makes a split-second decision not to engage in skirmishing with the Roman velites. Instead, he orders a full-blooded charge against the Roman front line. Scipio quickly responds by leading his cavalry forward, as the velites withdraw through the gaps to form a second line without even managing a single javelin volley due to the onrushing Carthaginians. A few moments later, the cavalry clashes in the centre. A fierce, bloody static melee develops, unlike the usual mobile cavalry encounters of the time. The horses panic in the chaotic close-quarters fighting, and many horsemen dismount in order to fight more effectively on foot.
Wow.
For a while, the fighting seems indecisive, but this was another ruse by Hannibal.
Oh, really?
He waits until most of the Roman cavalry is fully committed, and then sends his Numidians on a flanking maneuver. This catches the Romans totally by surprise.
Flanking, of course.
Velites on the flanks spot the envelopment, and some of them panic and flee. The fast Numidian cavalry quickly flows around the Roman flanks and tramples over the scattered light infantry.
Nice.
And then the noose begins to tighten around the Roman contingent.
Oh.
In the melee, Scipio is struck down from his horse. Carthaginian troops close in to finish off the wounded general, but at the final moment, he is rescued. One early account of his rescue holds that a Ligurian slave saved the Roman consul, but the more popular version claims that his 17-year-old son Publius charged to rescue his father with a small group of Roman cavalry that clustered around the consul before retreating back towards the Roman camp.
Yeah, it's like stories like that. You don't ever know what happened there, how he got saved. You know, like they said, like just for propaganda reasons. Hey, yeah, my son saved me. Prop him up more. I don't know. But anyways, good flanking maneuver. Like I was thinking, Hannibal's gotta win this. He can't start off with a loss. He just can't afford it. And yeah,
before retreating back towards the Roman camp. As word of Hannibal's victory spreads, Gallic tribes send emissaries to pledge their support. But despite their promises, the Gauls deliver little in the way of reinforcements and supplies during this early stage of the war. This forces Hannibal, whose army goes critically low on food in late 218 BC, to send a cavalry contingent to capture a Roman grain depot at Clastidium, guarded by a Roman garrison. Luckily for Hannibal, the garrison commander is from Brundisium in southern Italy, and when confronted, he willingly surrenders the depot and, in return for 400 gold pieces, joins the Carthaginian ranks, together with the entire garrison. These troops become the first of the Italian allies to defect and join Hannibal. Meanwhile, the Roman army retreats to Placentia, where they plan to wait for Sempronius and his consular army.
Dun, dun, dun.
Although the defeat at the Ticinus River is far from a major loss, it nevertheless reinforces the apprehension with which the Romans would view Hannibal from now on, and it sets a psychological tone which would be felt in the much larger battles to come.
That's right. Oh, here we go. Heavily wounded and with his moral shattered, Publius Scipio, I'm sorry, I can't read names, retreated to the Roman colony of Placentia. Hannibal arrived a few days later, taunting the Romans and challenging them to a battle, but Scipio refused and withdrew further under the cover of darkness. Hannibal put some fear into that, man. Is that the only one I got? Come on, we still got a lot more to go here. Yeah, we should have some more. Here we go. At Ticinus, many Carthaginian horses were in a poor state after the long, endurance whatever journey through the Alps, which is another reason why Hannibal quickly committed to a melee against the Romans instead of engaging in a prolonged mobile skirmish. Oh, stop it! This is why I paused, because I cannot read. Agent, screw this, of course. Okay. The defeat, although a minor skirmish, destroyed the image of strength of the Roman had in the region. Soon Hannibal's numbers would begin to swell as more Gallic warriors joined his ranks. Woo! Go Hannibal! Think that's it? Think that's all the cool little cheat sheets? Yep. All right, there we go, guys. So Hannibal basically had his first really good victory as far as against the Romans. Needed that victory to get all the support from the people around him, all the tribes. He got that and put a little fear into the Romans. And so, I mean, next time I'm sure they'll be ready and they know what he's capable of. But yeah, it's pretty. He's getting more troops. He's got his he's got his food. So things are definitely going really well for them. But he also has Rome's getting some more backups coming in. So next time he'll have to face an even larger force, and they should be more ready for him. So the next battle will be really interesting. It'll also be interesting to see like if Hannibal's Hannibal's other generals kind of help pick up the slack by trying to take over more other territories instead of because they're not really having much luck with that. So that'll be really interesting to see. But once again, Hannibal comes out on top. I mean, we're still early in the series, and so anything can happen. But right now, Hannibal's kicking butt. And yeah, we'll see what the next episode has to offer. Let me know what you guys think down below. How excited you guys are for this, and if you're new to the Hannibal, or you've already watched these, or you've already kind of new playing of Hannibal, it's kind of interesting. I think it's interesting to kind of know like who's like already knows a lot about him and who's kind of like me and is learning this stuff kind of like for the first time. So let me know in the comments below about that, and hit the like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in part 4, which is Battle Trivia 2020 218. So we're in the same year. And yeah, we'll check out what's going on there. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, and always a great time. And I'll catch you guys in future videos. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.